so you just heard the Weather Network forecast. So on New Year's Day, Sunday, the high will be 7 degrees. Now that's fairly mild, fairly relaxing weather. But not if you're pretty much naked and you're jumping into the freezing cold waters. Trent Courage is the organizer of the 27th annual Courage Polar Bear Dip for Charity. This is the 27th year that it's been going, and so far they have raised more than $850,000 for water projects through World Vision Canada. He joins me now on the line. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good. How do you prepare for something like this, or do you?
There's a lot of people do a lot of different things. The best way is just to arrive at the park and get caught up in the whole festive atmosphere. When you do arrive, you have to make sure that you have, of course, a bathing suit or a costume. We have a costume contest that goes on, but an extra pair of shoes, blankets, things to wrap yourself up to get you all warm after the fact. But as far as preparing beforehand, you just got to have enough courage to go jump in the water.
Why is this done typically on New Year's Day? At first I thought it was just a good way to get rid of a hangover.
Yeah, that's the first thing a lot of people think of. But it's also to start the year off with a new sort of cleansing the body, cleansing the soul. Mm-hmm. A lot of people take that sort of spiritual look at it. Sure. But hey, what else are you going to do on New Year's Day?
Oh, I don't know, sleep in, watch hockey, watch football. The money that you've raised, $850,000, that is quite remarkable. How many people will take part in this year?
Well, this year we anticipate with slightly warmer outside temperatures, we'll probably hit over 800 people jumping in, and the spectator amount is usually anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000. So you really get caught up in the whole atmosphere, and then people who jump in the water, they have the opportunity to raise money in advance as well, because we have donation pages that are available, and you can get that on polarbeardip.ca. Those people will raise a certain amount of money. We have a lot of donations that come in through corporate identities, and it's really good that way. The last few years, we really seem to see a lot of people giving more and more. Surprisingly, people say the economy is a certain way, but I think it's showing that what we're doing has a bigger purpose than just jumping in the water.
And where does this take place?
It takes place at Coronation Park in Oakville. The actual dip is at 2 o'clock sharp, but our festivities start at 12:30. We have live music, costume contest. We have some food set up as well, and World Vision, where the money goes to, World Vision Canada, they have a tent set up for some educational purposes as well. And it's quite an event. A lot going on in Oakville that day, that's for sure.
Speaking to Trent Courage, the organizer of the 27th annual Courage Polar Bear Dip Charity. Is that your real name?
It is my real name, and a lot of people have thought that it would certainly be something that I made up for the occasion, but no, we're fortunate enough to be born with the name, and kind of had no choice but to come up with something like this, I guess.
All right, well, good for you. I had to ask that question because I thought, well, I don't know, it takes courage to do what you do, so I figured maybe it was a pseudonym. Has it ever been too cold, Trent, to go in the water?
We've had, a few years where it was very cold, and also there's a certain amount of ice and snow that built up. But this whole event takes place because there's so many people who volunteer. It's a completely 100% volunteer organization from our end, and so we had to break up chunks of ice with pickaxes and shovels and that sort of thing. So it's never had to have been canceled, and we never planned to have that happen, because it's something that even if we weren't to show, people are going to go jump in that water at Coronation Park in Oakville every year. It just becomes such a tradition for so many families in the area.
You hear stories, sad and unfortunate stories, Trent, about people who fall into the water during the winter months and immediately succumb to hypothermia. How do you get around that? Yeah,
basically, hypothermia is something where you're submerged in the water for a period of time where your core temperature gets down to an unsafe level. What we do is, our event, there's a lot of safety precautions that we do take, and one of the key things is that we have our participants run in and get out right away. They have a buddy on the beach. We have warm-up tents for changing and facilities. We have probably about anywhere from 10 to 15 people in the water wearing appropriate gear to make sure that nobody decides to stay out too long. We also have ambulances on attendance. We have firefighters around. So we have a lot of support staff to make sure that nobody either purposely acts silly or just it just happens where they just succumb to some sort of effect from the cold and aren't thinking properly. So there's a lot of safety precautions. In our 26 years prior to this, we've had no incidences, so we're really quite happy.
Well, that's great stuff. Yeah. Trent Courage, organizer of the 27th annual Courage Polar Bear Dip. It's coming up Coronation Park in Oakville on Sunday at 2 p.m. 800-plus people participating and thousands of people standing around watching and thinking, these people are all nuts.
So we're not going to see you there?
I'm kind of tied up that morning. However, listen, I of course, I'm just joking with you. Kudos to you and everybody else. That's an awful lot of money, and that's an awful lot of good that you do. What a great way to start off a new year.
Well, we appreciate it. If people want to arrive a little bit beforehand, like I said, festivities start 12:30 down at Coronation Park. So
all right. You great. Take care. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you.
All right. Trent Courage, 27th annual Courage Polar Bear Charity Dip. What a great